What is going on, everybody? My name is Japes. Welcome back. Episode number 14 in Ye Old Path to Power. At the end of last episode, we added Pele and we added Thierry Henry. So I thought, let's give the 3-5-2 another go. We have a catalyst in Pele and two amazing icon striking options for the time being. And this looks like a pretty good 3-5-2 team to me. So I believe I run come back on defense on my attacking mid, free roam, strikers on false 9, and I think I tried drift wide. I didn't like it. So I'm showing you my tactics here that I've used for the 3-5-2, but I would take them with a grain of salt because this setup is not going to last more than, I think, a half for me. I think I end up changing it up, and it's a good thing I put Alba, and I think I put Kimmich on the bench too, and they both come on, I think, at around halftime for me. And it's not that I wasn't controlling the game or feeling dominant. It's that the 3-5-2 to me feels much like the 4-1-2-1-2, feels far too structured. It feels too predictable. And this is where I think it's important for you guys to take into consideration your own play style and what works for you and the systems and the formats that you like playing and the type of goals that you like to score. Because I like a free-flowing, wannabe total football-esque type style. And the 3-5-2 for me currently, I feel like my players just don't move into interesting places to get open to where I enjoy the type of opportunities I create or the type of goals that I score. And so for me, I just don't think it's the formation as much as I try to push it. And like I got elite in Ultimate Team last year, FIFA18, using the 3-4-2-1. And I've tried that again this year. And it also feels a little like you're just trying to overload the left side or the right side, whichever side you're attacking down. And I haven't loved that either. So I just don't know if I'm a 3-back player this year. What I have enjoyed that I haven't showcased at all on Path to Power for you guys is at the start of the year, I was loving the 4-3-2-1. And I was loving it because I would play with my left back and right back on always overlap. And they scored tons of goals for me, like tons of goals. And it was super, super fun. Pele get things started with us, an absolute thunderbolt right into the back of the net, showing us what he's capable of. Don't get me wrong, he's awesome. It's a great card. We've had him obviously as a loan to start things off, and I found it pretty ironic that he was the first icon that we packed beyond Mr. Gary Lineker. Like having had mixed feelings from him before, I'm a better player now, I think, maybe than when I look at that for a pass. Oh my goodness. I moved Thierry Henry back to a CM in the 4-1-4-1 when I switched, and he was okay there. I think he'd be fine if you wanted to play him there, but I just feel like for me, as a 4-1-4-1 striker, what I'm looking for is a striker with a bit of size, a striker that is obviously clinical. I love seeing 4-star skills. I love seeing the pace, but a player that has a nice link-up play too. And with the maestro chemistry style on him, Thierry Henry is much better than Gary Lineker at link-up play. Apparently, that's a penalty. Referee! Ref. Felt a little hard done by that decision, but I promised this time I would not dive. And I dove. I did it again. I did it again, guys. I always do it. Like, I always forget until after the fact. And then what you don't see is I don't skip forward or anything. I just put my controller down and I hang my head in my hands. And I ponder, why, oh, why can I not remember to do it properly? So we're going to switch back up to the old 4-1-4-1, and I cannot believe that we're closing in on 50 wins. It feels pretty crazy to be that deep into things so quickly, but because of the players that we've been able to get and progress with so nicely, and it's all gameplay, whereas if it was a regular Path to Power, I guess I'd do some trading or there might be some crazier SBCs that we'd have to go out and accomplish. So for this, it's working pretty well. We're going pretty quickly. And I put Thierry Henry into that CM spot, and I was like, I'm going to do it. There was a guy that was like, oh, Japes, you can't play with like 2 icon strikers in this team. What are you going to do if you get 2 icon strikers? And I was like, I'm going to play him as a CM. Watch me do it, because I do love Antoine Griezmann. The France SBC, I think, has come out at this point, and I love Griezmann as a center midfielder in this formation. So if you've got the French players to do it, by all means, go out, pick him up, slot him into your midfield. He's not going to let you down. But I decided we'll just give Mr. Lineker a break. We're going to try out Thierry Henry. I don't know why I keep saying it. It's just a fun name to say, Thierry. But he's going to be playing as our lone striker for us. Coming up against Pele, Puyol, Gabriel Jesus, Aguero, Cuadrado, Tyson, Jordi Alba, and that was all that I saw before we got into the match. But we're getting a clip from kickoff. And if I was a betting man, as many of you guys might be willing to bet what is coming next, it is going to be yet another kickoff goal. And I'm not sure. I just don't know how I feel about them. And this is Thierry Henry with the Maestro. I think it's the right chemistry style for him. You do not need more than 94 pace on a striker. I guess depending on the way that you play, but I just don't feel like you need more than 94 pace on a striker. And there's the link-up play right there that we're looking for. He's strong enough to shield the ball. He's got good enough dribbling to get out of tight spots. I absolutely love Thierry Henry's icon card. He is brilliant to use. And if you guys are lucky enough to pack him, by all means, use him. I don't know if there's a player as a striker, even maybe Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. I suppose Brazilian Ronaldo maybe too might give him a run for his money, but those are the 3 strikers that I kind of feel like are the elite top of the line ones on the World Cup game mode. Obviously different on regular Ultimate Team because there are plenty of Team of the Season cards at this point, but nice goal and a nice pirouette of a finish from Thierry Henry right there. I don't love those finishes because I don't think they're super realistic, but I do score them from time to time, and you take what you get. But this guy strings together a really nice attack right here, and a wonderful touch from Pele, sends him inside, and he just curls it in. And yes, it was kickoff, but I don't care about that. I care that I got dabbed on. I do not love getting dabbed on. What year is this? I just feel like the dab is something in the past, and I decided I wanted to put the hurt on him, and he was a good enough player that he wasn't going to let me put too much hurt. But that's just Pele. Like, very few players you're going to be able to just bang one into the bottom corner from a pretty much standstill. I intended to take a touch forward so I could square my shoulders and be facing the far corner to get a nice powerful shot, but I didn't time it very well, and he just puts it away, and then his Pele comes right back onto that one, and that's a defensive error for me because I just misjudged his pace. But a win is a win, and that means that was in the semis, and we are going to be heading on in to the finals for yet another World Cup run here. And what that means is that we will have a shot to add another icon to our team. And if it is an icon that I like and know something about, we will try to keep him into the team, or we will try to keep him in the team. If it is one that I just don't know much about or don't necessarily care for, then off you go. It's just that simple. And I think that system works. I like it because it'll keep adding variety and spicing things up. I don't even know if I'll do the icon SBCs unless I have duplicates in the future. So we'll just have to see how I feel about my squad at any given time. A little bit of maintenance here before the final. Going to give some players some contracts. I don't love PK. If I were to get a decent 83 rated option, I think is probably where the break even comes. A player with over 72 pace or something like that. So maybe 74, I feel like would be worth trading PK's defensive stats for a little bit quicker of a player. Then I'd probably be willing to make that trade. But for now, we've got PK, and we've got PK next to Kimmich, so our right side's a little slow. We're coming up against Ivory Toast, squad name. Ivory Toast 9 is his tag, I believe. And he's got Maradona and Rui Costa. Not an amazing team. So I thought he would probably be a pretty strong player to meet him in the finals with not an amazing team like that. And Eden Hazard, what are you doing? Why are you sliding? He clipped me. And there's a rumor going around, and maybe it's been around for a long time, but apparently you can watch your penalty kick taker's head, and unless they're an elite penalty kick taker, they will glance up and look the way they're going, and Pele did it right there. That's the way I was going. You could see his head tilt just a little bit that way. And so from now on, I am going to try to remember to do that. Obviously, I try to remember to tell myself not to dive, and I do it anyway. So it'll probably take some getting used to, but I'm going to see if I can stop penalties like that. And if I do, I will report back. If you guys try it out, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know how it works out for you, because once upon a time, many, many moons ago, I believe it was FIFA 11, I came out with a penalty kick stopping tutorial, and that was maybe the first video of mine that got any sort of notoriety. This is just fortunate, and for me, unfortunate for him. It's just a pot shot, and he's unable to clear it. His player's running backwards. It's a tough skill to maybe clear it from there. So maybe you say, yeah, I'll give it that. But this is a well-worked counter-attack. It's quick passing. He's committed a lot of guys forward and inside from Shaqiri, Pele, all the way across to Kingsley Coman, like he's done so many times, finessing it into the far corner after cutting in from the left. I love scoring that goal. And I was asked, Japes, I don't really have a good time counterattacking with the 4-1-4-1. I find it very challenging to do so. My players aren't in good spots. And if you're going to counterattack with this formation, you've got to start out wide. Like, the attack has to start out wide because you've got your left mid, right mid on stay forward. And so those are the two players that are going to be your outlets for a counter, because chances are, if they've attacked up the right, their right fullback might be out of position. If they've attacked the left, their left fullback might be out of position. And that's what we're trying to exploit. We pick up Marquinhos, which is awesome. He is a great center back. Also pick up Carvajal. I don't think he'll be replacing Kimmich for us. Pick up Lima as well. I haven't actually played against him or seen him in the World Cup mode, so a player that we might consider tossing in the future. 15,000 coins, 2 packs. Don't mind if I do. We pick up Glick, which could be great for a Lewandowski SBC if we decide to go that direction, or can be used for an icon upgrade, whatever we decide to do. But I did decide to go in for ye old icon upgrade, and we're going to be turning in Mr. Gary Lineker to the upgrade gods. He's been good for us. There's no denying that. Gary, we appreciate your service to the club. Scored many important goals, but it is his time to go. So we will wish him farewell in the only way that I know how to on Path to Power, by saying farewell, Gary. But getting rid of some of the players. So what I'm doing here is basically I'm trying to pick players that are high enough rated that maybe will be playing in the, well, I don't necessarily think will start in the World Cup, but more importantly, I don't think that I'm going to want to do the Nation SBC for that player. So Cedric's inclusion was risky now that I'm looking back on this, because I absolutely would want to do a Cristiano Ronaldo Portuguese Nation SBC. So that is debatable. I must have another one in my club. I would hope that I have a duplicate if I'm doing that. I know at least I have another Portuguese right back, so maybe we're a little bit more covered right there. But we go ahead and complete the icon challenge and head on over to open up our pack. Fingers crossed we get a player we're all about. Germany. CM. Oh, it's Lothar Matthäus. Love it. Definitely a player we're all about. I like one of the best strikers of the ball from distance, in my opinion. If you guys have not ever checked out any of his highlights, go out and do so. Hopefully we can score some bangers with him in the future. Anyways, guys, that is where we're going to come to a close. As always, I want to say thank you very much for watching. My name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.